UTCM was birthed from me realizing that there is a greater me on the inside of me. The phrase, there's a greater you on the inside of you, means being above normal, understanding your worth, and being confident in knowing who you are. But the first person who has to realize that there's a greater you on the inside of you is you. In life, we all go through stages of the good, the bad, and the ugly, which leads us to our purpose and promise. UTCM is a platform where you get to share your story and your truth of unmasking moments that allows you to embrace all stages in your life. UTCM looks forward to many people being able to unmask, uncover, and unveil themselves on the podcast. Thank you for watching and joining us. Hey, everybody. Hey. All right. So I tagged you, Ashley, in the comment section. So if people, your friends or your family or whatever wants to see it from your Facebook page, they are able to, but they're also able to see it from YouTube too as well. Because I know you've been posting, girl. You've been posting.
Yeah, I've been coming out of my comfort zone. Clearly, I don't like video. So me talking on a video, no. So, but it felt good. I must say, it felt really good today. And, the past few days, you just hop on video. So, hey, you got to flow with it,
Yes, you out here, girl. You out here. So I am so excited. This is episode 5, season 2. And every time I just don't have any I don't have words to express like how much gratitude and how grateful I am for all of my guests, to come on, for all of my followers, for all of my family, my friends who watch, who share. It has just been a really, really great experience. And I am so grateful and thankful for each and every guest. But I am so grateful and thankful for you. Right. I'm thankful for your willingness to come on and unmask yourself. Right. Because again, as I always say, unmasking yourself is not easy by far. And it's a continuing process that we go through, each and every day, especially after, I feel like after we profess it out of our mouths, right? It's like, okay, this is really real. This real now. So it's a continuing process, right? But we out here and we on a ride, right, together. So again, I just thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm just so excited, for us to be here tonight to have this little chat. I feel like we always have our own little podcast.
Always.
But it's usually not live, right? And most of the time we do have some tears here and there. So tonight, I want you to just be free. I want you to be, as open as you feel like, right? Yes. Don't get me started. I'll get up and start dancing.
Oh, I know. But girl, like we gonna let it out. That's why I'm here. Like I said earlier, how we come here to unmask. We doing it tonight. Let's do it. I'm
telling you. So I am super excited. So before we get started though, right? Like I want to kind of brag about myself a little bit. I'm excited that I got new t-shirts, right? So I need y'all to check this out. Check this t-shirt out, right? I don't know if y'all can see it, but this is the Unmasking the Covet Me t-shirt. I also have it in, let me show y'all. I have it in white too. So Unmasking the Covet Me. And of course, on the back, it says, there's a greater you on the inside of you, right? So if y'all want a t-shirt, make sure y'all hit me up. And then let's show them a little something, Ashley. Let's show them what we're working with tonight.
The mugs.
The mugs. Yes.
Wait, so I didn't ask you what tea you got tonight.
Oh, so I have green tea mango.
Oh, that sounds good. I like that. I went a little basic. I guess, I got black tea. So I got some chai tea. With my chai tea, I like to mix it with some oat milk and a little bit of agave, just a little bit of each. I can't drink chai tea by itself. So I like to get that little bit of sweetness, but right on the money. But that
I'm a little play Jane because you named a whole bunch of stuff. So I called myself in tune with my inner Ashley tonight, right? Because I'm not a tea drinker. I'm more of a coffee girl. But I'm like, listen, I mean, what better way to have my mug with my tea, right? So yeah, I want to get in tune with my inner Ashley tonight because she is a tea drinker for real.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We gonna convert you to a tea drinker soon. You know.
Right. Yeah, I gotta get me like a little tea. I could only imagine what your tea setup looked like and everything too, as well. Yeah, we know.
To another day. Yes. But yeah.
Well, I'm so excited again. And we're gonna jump right on in, right? So I always ask all my guests, right? How did you feel about the questionnaire that I sent to you?
Surprisingly, it was easy for me. So when you first asked me about to be a guest on your podcast, I was like, I anticipated a questionnaire and I was like, oh Lord, what am I going to write? Write about what I'm going to say. But then when I got it and I sat down with it, just flowing. I'm like, oh, this is easy. This is because I feel like these are also questions that I ask myself on a daily basis.
Okay.
And I feel like these are really good questions that target the healing process. So, I feel like we're going to talk about it since we're here, like, just from like during my healing process and what the questions were, I was able them to answer so easily because I reflected that deeply. And these are really deep questions that, we could go on and on just on one question, but
right.
like, yeah, easy for me, but it's something to touch on, not just only for me, but for somebody else to hear and to really think about.
Yes, and that's what I like about the questions too, as well, that it allows you to really sit and think. And it's like once you see the questionnaire, it's kind of like, no, I need to answer these right now in the moment, right? Like I don't want to let it wait. I don't want to let it, like I want to answer these questions right now. And it allows you to really put it in black and white. Because I feel like it's, like we all, our healing process is something that we always go through, right? But being able to actually see it written in black and white, right? And a part of my healing process was journaling, right? So really being able to see it and then reflect back is like it, I feel like it's like surreal, right? So, well, I'm happy to hear that. So we're going to dive right on in.
I like the dive. With the body roll. Okay, let's do it.
So, right, I want Ashley because I know Ashley, right? We known each other for some time. I would say, like 3-4 years
now. Since 2018, I think. So yeah, I'm a math girl. 3, 4, something.
I know it for a minute now, right?
Yeah.
We worked together. And then, even though we went our separate ways, we still stayed connected, in a way. And I love Ashley. I really, really do. She's super dope. She is amazing. But I'm gonna let her brag about herself, right? Because there may be somebody that may not know who Ashley is, right? So, Ashley, brag about yourself a little bit.
Oh man. So my name is Ashley Victoria, Ashley Conyers. I go by both. Ultimately, my government is Ashley Victoria Conyers. Whatever. But so I like to define myself now in this season as a leader. I'm an advocate for serving others, and I'm a creative. I have a photography business called Time Capsule Photography, which is located in Monmouth County in New Jersey. And it focuses on personal branding and lifestyle. So I am meeting up with entrepreneurs and influencers and to really gauge and really present their behind the scenes. A lot of people, they have brands, but we don't really know who that business owner is or, what they do. Do they like wine? Do they go partying? Do they like to be in the crib, watching TV? And if so, what movies or TV shows are you watching? So, I like to get more of the behind the scenes and really showcase who that person is and, to their audience and to get more of a personal feel. So, but amongst other things, I'm a licensed social worker and I'm licensed in New Jersey and New York. So my most recent job has been working with the little babies. So I've been working with mostly 2-year-olds diagnosed with autism, and I was hired as an ABA therapist. So very rewarding. However, it is something that I had to get adjusted to. So that job is really not the easiest. You think, oh, hey, I'm gonna show up to somebody's house and play with your baby. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into that. It's not just playing with babies and having that job as like a side job. You have to take it very seriously. This is a child, so a baby is really a sponge. They're mimicking you. Then, I mean, if they're nonverbal, they still. It is still a little bit more challenging too if they're nonverbal, because you then have to, assist them with the gestures on how to communicate with not only you but their parents and loved ones in the home. So it's a lot to think about, but the experience is priceless, I must say. So yeah, I'm really that type of person that always wants to help and serve. And even like when I was going to college, and you got to choose your major. The first thing in my mind, I was like, you know what? I don't know what I want to do, but I just know I want to help people.
Yeah.
But I always said, like, I don't know. I could be a nurse. I could be a doctor, a librarian. Like, it could be so many things. But, as I went along my journey now, it was just like, I want to infuse helping others, but be creative about it. So, it's still coming along, and I think God is pushing me in the right direction. I feel like I'm on the right path, and I'm excited for this journey, girl.
I know that's right. I know that. You better go ahead and brag about yourself, Ashley.
That's my first time bragging. Okay.
As you should. As you should. So I see everybody coming on. I see people on YouTube.
Hey, people.
So hi, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for tuning in to myself and Ashley on Unmasking the Covered Me podcast. I'm just super excited for tonight. I really am. So I also want to, because you mentioned babies, right? So I want to go back because it has been a little heavy, right, this week, of what we're dealing with, in our nation, right, and with Texas. So I really just want to, at least just, say that, praying for the families, who were impacted, by this shooting, and any other shooting also, that even the one, in Buffalo, it's just so much, going on. So just praying for everybody, praying for everybody's strength, because these times are just not easy. So I did not want to not say nothing, right, because that's very heavy, and my heart, really just goes out to all the families, in those those states. So
yes, my deepest condolences to the families and the loved ones. I can't even imagine, waking up and not even thinking that's the last time I'm gonna see you. The last time I'm gonna hug you or kiss you and say I love you. It's really heartbreaking. I have a family group chat, and I was telling my family, I know it's like these things keep happening, but what they really want us to do is give up. But it's not a time for us to give up. It's a time for us to stand up and keep going and keep pushing, because what they want us to do is just quit.
Right.
We can't do that. And get like, no, it's not that type of time. The wicked think they got the power, but they don't. Okay.
Absolutely
We will always prevail, and we gonna trust me, we gonna come through.
Yeah, I'm telling you, all I keep thinking about is my Latoya Okia. We divine ones, okay?
Yes.
We are divine ones. We're gonna keep persevering, and even though, like you said, trying to, want us to throw in the towel, absolutely not. We gotta stand, after. And even, all I keep thinking about is that song, like, After You've Done All You Can by Donnie McClurkin. After you have done all you can do is just stand. Right. So, so sometimes, just got to continue to fight the good fight. you know what I'm saying, and not give up. And I know, you know what I'm saying, sitting on the other side, right? Because you haven't experienced what they have experienced. So I'm definitely not sitting here saying like, oh, like just get up and just stand. Absolutely not. Because there is definitely some, some heartache, some pain, a whole lot of heartache, a whole lot of pain, a whole lot of confusion, a whole lot of just not understanding, right? Like, God, why would you let something like this happen? Right. But understanding that we are able to ask God those questions too as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't have any understanding. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are anxious. You know what I'm saying? Anxious about their children. Anxious about going out. And I know for me, I'm only going to speak from a perspective of me. I had a moment of reflection. I'm like, you know what? That could have been me. That could have been anyone in my family, right? Like I'm not exempt. Like by far, I'm not exempt. So it's like, I need to make sure that I appreciate my loved ones while they're here. When they leave out, I need to, honor them and love them and let them know that I love them, and say that, like, because you just never know. We don't wake up and say, oh, I'm not coming home tomorrow. I'm not coming home tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the first thought on your mind, when you wake up. So
no.
Really praying.
Every day is a blessing. Every moment is a blessing. Every time you leave your house, you leave a destination, pray. Even if it's a small, like every time before I even leave my apartment, even when I come through the door, thank you, God. God, please protect me from each destination that I go to today. Protect me in any area that I'm in. Even for your loved ones, like you have to. You have to.
And I feel like I take that. I have been, just being very transparent. That's just who I am. I'm honest. I feel like I have been taking that for, a disadvantage of that, right? Like I don't necessarily do that because we're always moving, right? Like always moving, like, okay, I gotta get up, gotta get the kids to school, gotta get back to work, like, and never really taking that moment to reflect. And it literally only takes a few moments, you know what I'm saying? Just to pause. God, I thank you. Like you said, I thank you for allowing me to see your day, right? Because your day, this is the day that you have made. So I will rejoice and be glad. And then I just ask you, like you said, to continue to cover and protect each and every family member, each and every friend, each and every sister, anybody that is connected to me. I ask you to watch over them and protect them, as they go along through their day, and then bring them back home safely, right? And their home be standing in the way that they left it when they left out this morning. So, I feel like, I definitely have to make sure that I make that a habit. Like, just like I make a habit of getting in the shower, I get in the, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I take the kids to the school. That also has to be a part of my routine. Because without him, I can't sustain. I just can't.
No, ma'am.
So, yes, I just wanted to take a moment just to, to at least say that because, it's, my heart is just, really, really with the families, really with the families. So, right. So you mentioned something. Let's get back to business. And I always got that little laugh, like,
you do. It's okay. I love it.
Okay, so right, you did mention, right? So you described yourself in 3 sentences, right? And what stuck out to me was the word advocate, right? Because I know that we are both huge advocates, right? So, what is your definition of an advocate?
Ooh.
It's the side for me. It's
my definition of an advocate is someone who supports, someone who guides, someone who has a listening ear, and not even just because we all listen, but it's about active listening.
Yeah,
I want because it's like, if I'm venting to a friend, let's say, or a family member, they hear me womp 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 womp, and I'm like, are you listening?
Right.
I need you to be actively to every word, even my tone. I want to make sure that you have follow-up questions. With the advocate, they look deep. They look deeper than the surface, in my opinion, for me personally. Because the ultimate goal is to just kind of figure out, okay, what's the next step for us? How can I support you in this or whatever you're going through? So I'm thinking, I'm seeing a compass. So like just kind of like navigating with you, a navigator. But yeah, I guess I don't want to rant about that, but that's I'm
No. That was good. That was, and I like that. I like that analogy. Right? Like a compass. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
they're able to navigate you through, whatever you may need to be navigated through, whatever that may, be. And I definitely agree with being an active listener, right? Because again, yes, we could be listening, but also we could be listening doing a million and one other things, right? But when you actively listen to somebody and they see that you're active, like you are able to, engage better with them, and then they're actually able to be more receptive to,
Exactly.
what I'm saying, with if you say something, as well. And it may be something that they may not necessarily like, but if you're not actively listening to them, they're like, well, you wasn't even really listening to me, so why should I listen to you?
Yeah, exactly. It's actually one of my pet peeves. Like I have to constantly repeat myself, and I'm just like, all right, I give up. It's all right. You're the wrong person for this. You're not.
I'm telling you. Yes, and
You don't have the job.
I know that is one of your pet peeves, because I remember when us working together, and I remember like if it's like if you would come and ask me a question, and I'm like, yep, I gotta ask you. You be like, Naisha, I just want to make sure, did you hear what I asked you? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Like I knew that Ashley needed me, like she needed me to make sure that I was focusing, because the thing was I understood where you came from though, because my thing is I don't want to say all I have to say, right? Because what I'm saying is important, and if you're not really listening and paying attention to me, and then finally when I do catch your attention, you're like, wait, what did you say again? Now I have to repeat all that over again.
Yes.
And now I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. It really it takes skill, I must say. It does take skill. Um, I think everybody can have a gift for it. Of course, we improve on it.
Yeah.
But just some people just lack in that area, and that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're making the conscious decision that you recognize that and then you want to work on that, then cool. But
Yeah.
hey, and don't you didn't have to bring that up.
Listen, if we unmasking, right? Yes, I did.
Right, you're right.
I definitely did. I definitely did. So I actually want to go back though, because you had mentioned something about branding photos and different things like that. So I know that right now we are working together, right? You are helping me, brand my brand, in a different light, in a different way, right? So I kind of want you to talk about that piece a little bit, like what you do when it comes to that, so people can kind of have a better understanding of it. Because I know sometimes people like, Brandon, wait, what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? So if you can kind of like just shed a little light, on what does that look like.
Of course. So for personal branding, in my opinion, and it's just beyond the headshots. So, when you think of like, oh, I need a professional headshot, I'm doing more than that. I'm capturing really what it looks like in the office for you, or what it looks like at your desk, your workspace. With that tying in, it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of product photography. So simply like having your mug, having your laptop, if you have a calendar, a planner, a journal, like even what they call flat lays, and taking a picture overhead. Those are the things to capture, and that you could put on your marketing, on your website. Different portraits of you in different spaces, whether you're talking at an event, a workshop, whether you're having a meeting, with your colleagues. That's what I'm trying to capture in the most authentic sense. Yes, you may have to pose some of these things, but at the end of the day, when I'm shooting in general, I want to capture you authentically. I always say to people, I say, hey, if you have a rest and be face that day, I'm gonna take it.
Right.
And we're gonna make you laugh after. So
right.
But that's really the foundation of my business, is really authenticity. I want to capture you and who you, and the essence of you. I want to capture the spirit of you, because I really don't like the posy, like pose 1, pose 2, pose 3. No, we're not doing that, because you look stiff at the end of the day, and we're not doing that. So I'm sorry, but that's not my style. But I appreciate the photographers who do that and are really good at it, because it looks like they're not really posing that hard. But sidebar, I am actually working with you on starting to do the content strategy sessions. So that really entails like then taking your photos, whether that I took them or somebody else took them, and you're trying to figure out how to use them within your social media platforms. So this could be headers, cover pages, how you want to put them on your website, certain like things like that, very detailed. Because for me, at least for a photo, not every photo looks good in a certain spot. You know, you have to be very selective on where to put certain things. So if you need another opinion, I'm here to do that for you. So, and in a lump sum, that's what I'm working on right now. But I do have another project that I can't really release right now, but
And that's all good. Listen, we're gonna stay tuned. We're gonna
yeah.
stay tuned for it because I'm definitely gonna make sure that I put her website and everything in the comment section. So if anybody is looking to rebrand or take photos or whatever the case may be, hit Ashley up. She got you covered. She is definitely amazing. She makes you feel very comfortable. And again, she allows you to truly be your authentic self. So I can say I love her for that. I really do.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, so that was good. So now I want to go back, right? I want to pivot a little bit. And so the first question was, what was your first step, right? In uncovering the hidden you. Right. And what popped out to me was embracing the discomfort. Right. Like that's what popped out to me. So I kind of want you to talk about what did or what does that discomfort look like to Ashley?
That discomfort was really just letting go of a lot of things. Surrendering was very uncomfortable for me. That was something that I had to learn. And it's like, when you feel like you have no choice but to learn it, that was just in that moment. I had to let go of a lot of people, places, and things that no longer served me. It was kind of like the visual of like, I'm had a closed fist and I'm like, I trust you, God. I trust you, God. But I really, I couldn't. I couldn't open my hands to say, I really do trust you. I have to let these things go. And that was the most uncomfortable thing. It was painful, man. It was so painful. And honestly, I don't I just had to really dig in one of those self-reflection moments and dig deep and have to remind myself of who God really is. And then know that he's always there for me and that he wouldn't steer me wrong. Surrendering is something that one of the biggest lessons that I've learned most recently. And honestly, the best thing that you can do, even though it sucks at the time, even though it may seem very painful, heartbreaking at times, it's the best thing that you can do. You don't understand why you have to surrender these people, places, or things, or whatever the case is, but just know that it's going to be better in the long run. It's going to be worth it. Even with the discomfort of just like being alone too, because I felt like at the time I was very codependent on a lot of things. And I'm gonna be very transparent here. I was codependent on sex. I was codependent on alcohol. I used to smoke a lot. And it came to a point where, of course, I dwindled down. But yeah, man, it was that I was very codependent on these things that I was really comfort to. And for me to let go of that and be like, okay, I'm gonna let go because I have to let go in order to be a new me and to transform, because this version that I am now, it's not who I'm destined to be. I'm not on the right path, and you know it. Like, when you're unhappy, but you really don't know you're really that unhappy until you get out of it, until you really surrender. Once I surrendered, I was like, damn.
Right.
You lost yourself. What? who are you? Like, I had to really, like, in seriousness, I had to really go back to the drawing board and be like, all right, I have to relearn myself again. You know, I really, and it's not even like maybe relearning, but learning new parts of myself. You know, what I like, what I really enjoy, what I don't like, or what was I selling for before, and now I'm like, nah, that would never come across my line ever. You know, so it's a lot of just transforming, surrendering, and just rebirthing. You
Yeah.
know, that's really the whole part of the discomfort, but it's a healing journey. Healing is not beautiful. I don't know who y'all been listening to who was like, yeah, it's roses and we're just in the field and it's so happy and healing. No, healing is ugly. There's many times of the night I would cry myself to sleep. I felt alone. I felt like, this was never going to end. I didn't,
Mm,
it was like, everybody has that analogy of being in a tunnel. It's cold, it's dark. You don't see any light, none, no light. Nobody may not understand what you're going through. So you feel even more alone. But, I thank God every day that I saw the light and I'm seeing the light.
yeah. You look
So,
like the lights.
well, thank
Sunshine.
you, girl. Thank you, man. When I tell you, like, I had to go through that discomfort to get where I am now. It's worth it. It's
Yeah.
worth it. I know there's so many people now going through it that they don't see the light right now. But I want to tell them that you can do it. You could push through and listen. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's going to be easy. It's not easy. This hard work that you put in is not easy, but you push at it every day. Just waking up every day is a blessing. You have a purpose here. If God is going to wake you up, there's something that you need to do. And for you to get where you need to be, you got to work on yourself. You got to do the work. You have to say yes. Say that yes so somebody else can say that yes.
That's good. That's good. That is so good. And I wanna you said so much. I'm like,
I'm
whoo.
sorry.
But I want to because you mentioned a lot, right? You talked about, healing being ugly and it's not pretty.
Yeah,
Definitely by far, definitely not pretty at all. Right. But it is definitely necessary, right, to get you to your greater. Just
yeah,
like you mentioned. Right. And talking about that surrender and talk about, that letting go. So it kind of like just brought me back to, maybe there's somebody that is, like right where you were, right? When you said that you felt isolated and you felt alone, right? You didn't know which way to turn. You didn't know if anybody was going to understand, right? And you literally felt like, that like in being in this tunnel, right? And there was no light. You couldn't even see the light, right? What were some of those tools, you know what I'm saying, that you had to take out of your toolbox to be
yeah,
able to lift Ashley up, right? And I feel like, there's no really, you never really know when you're actually like, oh my goodness, I do see that light. Like I do
yeah,
see that light down there, right? Like you never know, like when it's going, like you don't, there's no magic like potion or like, oh, I can give you the exact date when it happened, when it all turned around. Like no,
yeah.
because it just happens, right? And all of a sudden you're like, you feel like this new rebirth person, right? So I kind of want you to just talk about some of those tools that you did use. Like what did you actually do, you know what I'm saying, to be able to lift Ashley up?
So, first and foremost, I had to look to God. First and foremost, um, I couldn't do anything else but to look to Him, and I think that's the purpose. God puts you in isolation for you to look to Him, to have a closer and better relationship with Him. One of the things that I reflect on is that, we have the relationship with God, we have the relationship with ourselves, and we have the relationship with others in that order. I was messed up at. I had the relationship with others, I had the relationship with myself, and then I had put God last. I said, sis, what are you doing? God was even questioning me like, who is running this? I said, you right, God, I'm sorry. I really had to forgive myself for even doing that. I had to like
But
really repent because I'm like, I had it all twisted because in society, that's what they have us thinking. Oh, well, let's put others on a pedestal, or people who are really put yourself on a pedestal. No, I'm gonna put God on a pedestal and I'm gonna look towards him. A lot of the times I was leading myself instead of him leading me. And then I would get myself into some sticky situations where I had no business being in. And that's just real. Besides that, I had to really transform into the things that I was looking at, who I was listening to, who was I around, you know? Simplest thing is like, monitoring your circle. Who's lifting me up? Who's putting me down? What I'm trying to gauge the energy of these people around me, you know? Um I had to really I caught myself stop I'm sorry. That sounded real crazy.
No, it's okay. You're good.
I stopped watching certain shows. So I would be like an avid watcher of like reality TV shows, loving hip hop, growing up hip hop, you name it. I was there 8 o'clock on the dot. Oh, it's time. Popcorn ready, Couldn't do that anymore. Because you know why? I was feeding myself negative energy, drama that wasn't even mine to carry. It was just entertainment, but it wasn't feeding me anything for my soul. I started watching more motivational speakers like Latoya Okia. She's a actually life coach, but she's very like motivational to me.
Yeah.
I started watching more sermons, like on repeat, just like even the music I was listening to. Um, once you change those habits, you changing your mindset. Like that's the thing too. I had to change my mindset. That was the biggest thing because for me, I was so low. Like this was years of being low. It's not just hey months or just a year. This years. This started because when we're younger, especially teenage years, we're trying to find ourselves, find our niche. Where do we fit in the world? And I was lost. I didn't know me. I didn't know Ashley. I didn't know who God made me to be, honestly. But I was being a follower rather than a leader. That's why today I could actually confidently sit here and say, I am a leader. I'm a leader. I'm not following anybody's agenda or status quo anymore. Like I was trying to fit in especially when I was in my teenage years, and I look back, I'm like, why? Because we're always afraid of being the odd one out. But God made you that way for a reason. God always makes you the odd one out because you're special. You're not made to be like anybody else. He puts you here for a reason and a purpose that only you can do, that only you can provide.
Yeah.
So if I'm not being authentic in myself, I can't do life. I can't be me. I can't do what I really came here to do. So it's just really I even forgot where I'm going deep because I don't even know where I'm going with this.
You're
But
good, girl. That's
I'm
good. That's
just
good. I mean, everything that you said was, head on. The
yeah,
biggest thing is that mindset, and
yeah,
you have to make the decision. You have to make the choice to
yeah,
say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I want this. You have to
yeah,
want healing. You have to want it. You have to desire it.
yes,
Right.
yes,
But it also is good to, have also that support. Because sometimes without that support, it can be very hard and very challenging.
yes.
Because you don't know which way to turn. You don't know who you can be open and be honest with. And be very transparent and then not feel judged, right?
Yeah.
Because they always say, hidden scars and mental health, like that's not something visible. You
No,
can't see that you can't see how bad I'm hurting, how, the traumas that I have experienced. Like you can't see that, right? Because I can really walk around with a mask. Like
oh yeah,
I was able to mask so well for so many years until, like you said, God was like, no, no more. I didn't design you to wear this mask. I didn't design you to filter your mask either. Like
yeah,
this is not who I've called Naisha to be. I didn't call you to be this way. So I had to make I had to make the decision to say, you know what, Naisha, you're either going to stay stuck and
mm,
wearing this mask and filtering it, because you know how to take it on, take it off, which mask to put on, like you knew, right? So you're going to either make the decision to take it off completely and truly be your authentic self and be who I've called you to be,
yeah,
or you're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer, and you're not gonna be able to live the life that I have chosen for you to live. And
Right.
God wants us to live free. He wants us to live a life of love, a life of fulfillment. He doesn't want us to be confused and anxious and frustrated. That's not him.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
him. So no,
Right.
you was dead on. You was dead
Yeah.
on. And I felt like I have not asked this question in a for quite a few episodes, but I feel like it's the perfect timing because I heard you talk about your younger self. Right.
Yeah.
And I've asked a couple of my guests last season, in this moment, what would you say to your younger self? So that's what I'm going to ask
Mm.
Ashley. Ashley, what would you say
Oh.
in this moment to your younger self?
I would say don't follow the crowd. Um, stand in your power. Don't There's gonna be things that are gonna be said to you or like, ooh, I'm getting emotional.
As you should. It's okay. It's okay. It is okay.
I didn't even bring my tissues.
It's okay. You're good,
um,
Ashley. You're in a safe space. You're good. You are good.
um, sorry.
No, please don't
She was,
apologize. You're
she
good.
was just she was just broken.
You're good. You're good. This is what it is. This is unmasking the covered you. This is what it is. You're being your true authentic self. And understanding that, like you said, healing is not pretty, but it's necessary because it got you where you are today. So I
Yeah.
thank you for your realness right now.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And this is what it's about. This is what unmasking the covered me is all about.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I forgot my tissues. But I would really tell her that she's strong, you know.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. I can't do it anymore.
You
But yeah,
good.
that's what I would tell her. She's strong, she's beautiful, she's smart. Um don't let your don't let people take your kindness for weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I know I've seen your growth from the time that I have met you. And I remember even, when you came, when we were working together, and how you felt like people would take your kindness for a weakness.
Yeah.
Right. You weren't as strong and as bold. Right.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see the maturity in you. So I know you felt that, because that's a real moment for you,
Yeah.
right? Because you didn't always feel that way. You didn't always feel like Ashley was beautiful. You didn't
No.
always feel like Ashley was good enough, right? You
Right.
didn't feel like Ashley was confident, you know what I'm saying, and knew who she was and knew her worth. You didn't feel like that. So to be able to profess it out of your mouth and say it to your younger self, yeah, that it hits different. It definitely hits different.
It does.
So I want to thank you for, allowing yourself to, to be open like that and be transparent and be honest, and sometimes that's just what happens, right? It takes you there. And that's
Yeah.
okay because that's what God wants from us. God wants us to be our authentic selves. He wants us to, to have a freeness of, of knowing who we are in Him. That's what He desires.
Yeah.
So that was nobody but Him shining His light on you as you were speaking, right?
Yeah.
And people can grab hold to that, like, wow, like she was able to really be open and be free like that. Like that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It's funny because I was just if y'all didn't check out Brene Brown on Netflix, it's called The Call to Courage. I think it came out like 2019. I remember when it first came out, but I was drawn to watch it again just recently, and she talks all about vulnerability. And I think one quote from pretty much the whole documentary that I was watching, it was like, how can you let yourself be loved if kind of, oh my God, I don't want to butcher this up because it's so good.
Okay, yeah, no.
No, I'm gonna get it real quick.
Yep, go ahead, go look for it. So I want everybody, because my Ashley just had a whole unmasking moment. So I want everybody to put hashtag unmasking moment in the comments. I need everybody right now to make sure y'all put hashtag unmasking moment, because my girl Ashley, she had a real unmasking moment, and
Yeah.
my heart is just like so warm. And I'm just so thankful. I'm just so thankful.
I'm so thankful for
Wow.
you, sis. So she said, how can you let yourself be loved if you can't be seen? And right now, I really feel seen. I feel heard. And, to be vulnerable, like, is just this. We're scared to be vulnerable. We're scared, even if you're not the person being vulnerable, the one receiving that, we shut down because we don't know how to react. And that's what she talks about in her documentary as well, or the presentation. We don't know because we were never taught. We get uncomfortable. The simplest thing is like me crying. I feel I need to stop doing it. I'm sorry for crying.
Right.
But I've been doing that for so long, and I know, like, when I was in, working, we were working together. I would still say that, but it's a cleanse. Like, it's just me purging. That's what it is. I just need to purge. And it shouldn't be anybody feeling like uncomfortable about crying. We all need to cry. Yeah. There's no person. If someone walks around not crying, they're unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? You holding all that in until one day you gon' pop.
Yep.
It's gonna be real bad.
Yep.
So, like, when you need to cry, when you need to let it out, just let it out.
Just let
it out. But I need to check myself and be like, stop saying sorry for crying.
Right. Yep.
Right. You want a thug? Like, straight up,
I'm telling you, like, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay to cry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a sign of weakness
It's
at
not.
all, and that was always my mentality. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, suck it up. You gotta be superwoman. You gotta keep it together. You know what I'm saying? You can't cry. You can't show no weakness, but crying is not a weakness. Like you said, crying is a cleansing. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
it cleanses you. You know what I'm saying? It allows you to pour out so you can be filled back up. You know? So
shout out to Jasmine, by the way. Hashtag let it out. You right, sis.
Yes, that's my sis. That is my sis too. You gotta let it out for real. I love the hashtag, sis. Yes. That was good, yo. That was so good. And I felt like it was like the perfect moment because you was in the moment and you was getting it. You was that was amazing. I am just
well, thank you. Thank you for letting it happen, man. Thank you for letting it happen.
Oh my goodness, that was amazing. That was amazing. So, I mean, I feel like that's a good segue too, right? Especially when it comes to like forgiveness, right? Forgiveness is huge, right? I feel like, because I go to therapy. I'm in therapy. I see a therapist, right? And I'm not ashamed to say it. I am a huge advocate for therapy too, as well. I'll tell you in a minute. If we're talking, I'm gonna tell you, you may want to see a therapist. Like it's okay, right? And I feel like that's like a big part of, people when they are on their healing journey, right? It's when you have to begin to really, forgive yourself. Right. You talked about forgiveness too. So I want you to kind of like just talk about, your forgiveness process, right? Because you also mentioned that you had to forgive yourself, right? So what were some of the things that you did have to forgive Ashley for?
In this current season, I had to really forgive myself for allowing other people to feel that they could treat me anyway. They could talk to me anyway. Like we said before, take my kindness for weakness, and just forgive myself for not knowing my worth, and not to say that whether it would make a difference if I knew it sooner than later, but I'm glad I know it now. But forgive myself for that, because I wasn't loving on myself as I should have been. Because if I was, I wouldn't put myself in certain predicaments or situations. Now, on the flip side, because I'm not an angel. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love it.
I'm not. I have to be real.
Right.
I might have not been the best family member. Might have not been the best friend ever, you know, because whatever was going on in my life, I wasn't worried about whatever was going on over there. I wasn't being a good person, you
Yeah.
know. So I had to forgive myself for what I did to other people, whether knowingly or unknowingly. You
Mm,
know, I hope they forgive me, you know, but even though I don't know that, I have to forgive myself so I don't hold on to that guilt. I remember there was a situation in the past where I held on to so much guilt because I knew I hurt somebody. I knew it. And you know, I would apologize, I would, you know, but I still held on to that. But that I couldn't hold it anymore. I said, I'm gonna drop these bags right here. Every time I think about them bags, I think, bag lady. Okay. You done hurt your bag. Okay. I can't take those bags to my next destination with me.
yeah.
So I had to drop them where it be and keep it pushing. You know, as long as I addressed it, and especially if with the person, especially if I knew, I can't hold that. I
Yeah.
can't hold that. But yeah, you know, I have to forgive myself for hurting others, forgive myself for not loving myself. You
Mm.
know, those are the two biggest things that I could think of.
Yeah, and I like what you talk about with I feel like I hear the word accountability. Right?
Hmm.
Like being able to, because it's easy for us to talk about, what people have done well, I'm not going to say easy, right? But it's more prone for us to talk about what people have done to us, right?
Hmm.
And the things that have hurt us. Right. But we don't necessarily, on the flip side, we don't necessarily say, well, I was a little bit not so nice. I
Yeah.
was a little bit nasty, right? And I feel like I think God is dealing with me now with that, right?
Hmm.
Because I have been on this healing journey, right? And I've been really kind of, tackling the things that have really hurt me, on the traumas, that growing up as a kid, in my adulthood, right? So, but now I feel like God is also, being very intentional about when I can, what I'm saying, be a little nasty. Like
Hmm.
you need to check yourself because you're being nasty. And then not only do you need to check yourself, but you need to apologize and not just wait. I need you to do this in the moment.
Mm. Yeah.
So I've been very intentional with trying to do that, especially with been more so like with my husband, with Steve, so and because my biggest thing right now is just being I'm an open book, right? So I'm just gonna say it,
Yeah.
God's really been dealing with me with finances and really trusting him when it comes to finances. So whenever I talk about finances, I get like real anxious. Like I don't even want to talk about it. Like it's just too much. But I had to
Mm.
catch myself, like, because I find myself being a little like snippy, and all he trying to do is like, we just trying to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yeah.
putting everything in, what I'm saying, in its proper perspective. You know what I'm saying? And you're not where you used to be. You're so much further than that. So why are you continue to go back to those old ways, Naisha? Right. But I never
Mm.
held myself accountable for those things when I used to do it. But now I'm being very intentional to make sure that I am holding myself, you know what I'm saying, more accountable. So I like that you said, you being not an angel, right? Because we don't usually talk about that, and that's real. That's real.
Yeah.
You have to hold yourself accountable too as well for certain things that you may have done that you need to forgive yourself about.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that we have to have a balance. I think there's no one way to be, like, we can't be all on our light side or all on our dark side. We have to have a balance here. You know, that's just the way of the world too, is yin and yang, you know.
Yeah.
Um, if we were all on the light side, I think it would be kind of boring, you know.
Right.
Like for real, for real. But you know, it takes it, even if you didn't acknowledge it then, it's like I'm proud of you for acknowledging it now, you know,
Yeah.
for you to even make that step to be like, hey, I need to change this habit. Because that's what it all comes down to, is just the transformation. We could all say we're sorry at the end of the day, but do your actions match that? You know,
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's that change behavior, man. It's that change behavior
Yeah.
that makes all the difference. Don't tell me you sorry, then you want to go right back to doing it again and then 10 times worse.
Right.
Why we have the conversation.
That part. That
You
part.
know?
That part. And
Yeah.
and, that, and then that's like insanity, right? If you continue to go around the same circle over and over and over again, you know what I'm saying? And you keep apologizing for the same thing and we're not getting anywhere. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So then you have to make a decision for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like what's best for you in that moment. But that also takes time too as well. So and I feel like that's a whole nother podcast in itself.
Yeah.
But we are getting close to the end of time. And, I never like to go out without, making sure my guests talk about their hashtag because I'm a
Oh yes.
hashtag girly. So do you remember what your hashtag was?
The comeback.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Listen, right? I don't know. I'm like the comeback. And then all I kept saying was the big payback. I don't know why.
Oh wow, yeah, that's what I thought when you were just saying it too. Yeah, we here.
Payback.
Yeah.
So what inspired that hashtag?
Just my transformation, man. My transformation. I feel like I've been in that tunnel. Like I said, I've been in that tunnel for like a little over a year, even more. To be honest with you, if you want to keep it a buck.
Right.
And now today, sitting here on this podcast, I can see the light. I see the light, man. It's so bright. And I think for me, I don't want people to see it. I want people to feel it. I'd rather be felt than seen. I don't like all the attention. I don't like that. But for me, it's like, for me personally, this journey has been rough, but like I said, it's been worth it. It's been so worth it. I feel like I'm on a brand new, like, is level, like, so to speak, a brand new level. Like whatever was in the past, like that's the old me. I don't forget the old me, but if I'm gonna look back, I'm gonna just see, if for me to look back, the only reason I'm looking back is to see how far I've come. That's it. Because honestly, I could say, hey, you know what? I appreciate her right there. Because even though she was down and out, she pushed through to get to me right here, to the current me. And then I'm gonna look back on this current me. I'm gonna be like, sis, because I'm right now I'm working towards my future self. So,
My future self.
listen, we're always evolving, and I think that's just the beautiful thing of life. If you're not evolving, you gotta really check yourself. You gotta really sit down with yourself and figure out, all right, like, what do I need to do? Because I don't like the saying that this is just the way I am. I don't like that. No, this is not just the way you are. Maybe for right now, but there's things that you could work on. Everybody has flaws. Everybody. And if you can't sit there and check yourself, then that's a personal problem. And I would say that pride does get in the way with that. It is. It's a personal block. And I think we do it because we want to protect ourselves and not really be, again, vulnerable. With
Yeah.
this journey, this transformation, you have no choice but to be vulnerable. No choice.
No
God,
choice.
God is going to put you in that spot and He going to break you down, okay? He going to break you down. All
All the
right?
way down.
All
All
you
the
all
way
you
down.
down. But then you going to turn out all right. It's okay. God still love you.
All the time.
All the time.
That's the one. That is the one thing I know that will never change is His
Nope.
love for me.
Nope.
It will never
Never.
change. No, I
Never.
mean, no matter what I do, no
Yeah.
matter what I do, no matter what I do,
Yeah.
how I act, He always
Mm-hmm.
gonna love me. Yes,
Amen.
and I know, yes, so right. It's so necessary. It's gonna hurt. It's not gonna feel good. But it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely getting greater. You know what I'm saying? Because there
Yeah.
is, like I say, there's a greater you on the inside of you. It truly, truly is a greater you on the inside of you. But the first
Yeah.
person who has to realize that and who has to understand that and who has to wholeheartedly believe that is you.
Yep.
You're the first
Yep.
person. You're the first person, because I mean, I can tell you till you blue in the face how great you are, how beautiful you are, how smart you are. You're just this, this great person, and I see this and I see that for you. But if you don't see it for yourself, all of what I say is that goes out of the window.
Exactly. There's a comeback season for all of us. I want everybody to put in the chat hashtag the comeback. I don't know where you guys are in your life, but listen, if you in a tunnel right now, bro, sis, you comeback season is on. It's on the horizon. And if you're here with me in the sun too, listen, life is full of valleys and peaks.
Yes.
I'm at a peak right now. Another valley's on the way. Trust another valley's on the way. Okay.
Talk about it. But it's just,
I cherish this right here.
Yes. Yes. So it is our time. That always happens. Yeah. It always happens. Yes, everybody's putting hashtag the comeback. But it is our time. But I want to make sure I am going to put all your information and everything in the comment section. So if people want to reach out to you, they can definitely do that. But I want you to kind of just, let people know how they can, get in contact, like give all your Instagram and all that social media stuff.
Well, top two I'll give is Facebook and Instagram. So you can follow me on Facebook at Ashley Victoria. Or you can follow me on Instagram at __Victoria. That's my personal page. And then from there, we could get into my business page in my bio. So yeah, but thank you everyone for joining tonight.
Yes. I feel like we got to dance.
Yeah. Ooh.
And listen, y'all, Ashley don't even dance, but she is definitely.
I do though. I do though. I do. Okay. I'll tell you a little song.
I do. Okay, actually, so I need you to make sure we go out to the house music festival, because I want to see you do a little two-step.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. I'm down.
Yes. So I just want to thank everybody. I really do. I want to thank everybody that came on, who's on YouTube watching, who's on Facebook watching. I just thank you guys so much for coming on and supporting my podcast. And then also, watching Ashley and and understanding her unmasking herself, right? Because again, unmasking is not an easy process.
No.
But I want to also give a special thank you to you again, Ashley, because you are amazing.
You are too, boo. And I'm so honored and blessed to have you in my life and for you to even ask me to be part of your podcast. So thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. You are so welcome. So we are out, y'all. Good night. Everybody be safe. It is Memorial Day weekend. So everybody have a happy, safe weekend. Enjoy this long weekend. And we love you guys. We out.
Peace.